So this is Mr. Slate over here, and he's my rescue horse from Heart of Phoenix Equine Rescue that I've been working with, and he can be a cranky old man. Slate is 10 years old. If you haven't been following him, he's still a stallion, so he's intact, and he hadn't been handled until he came here. You can see even now as I approach, he's a little bit worried and wants to come into my space and is a little bit chargy. When he came, he was charging, biting, kicking at people, and today he's having a particularly cranky day. I'll tell you why. So he plays pretty rough with these other two horses. I don't know if you can see, there's Mr. Enoch over here, and then there's Prospector back there, and they've been playing pretty rough. They play over the fence, and one of them, I'm not sure if it was Enoch or Prospect, but one of them gnawed at his face and put a pretty nasty cut on his face. So we've been working with him on haltering. We've been working on approaching him and retreating from him, and him allowing me to kind of come in his space without him trying to charge or come after me. So my goal today is to get his face cleaned up and to put some ointment on his face, okay? Now, we have haltered him, but I'm not going to halter him to do this. And we'll be working some more with haltering and unhaltering and some leading things and really cool stuff to really start to help him make some progress. But I want to be able to treat this face. And I don't know if you can see when he turns his face this way, you can see on the side of his face, he's got a little cut where he's been chewed on by that other horse. And so I want to be able to get on there and doctor it a little bit, put some ointment on there to help to keep it from getting infected, all right? What I'm going to do now with Mr. Slate is I'm going to have him fall into my hand like we've been working on. So I'm going to pick my hand up, and he knows that when I pick my hand up, that means to come in towards the space where we work. And so if he's not coming, I'll add a little bit of pressure here, good. And again, he's really cranky today. You can see him, he's just not happy. He's actually been doing a lot better in general with all this kind of stuff, but today he is particularly cranky. Every time he kind of roots that head up, he's like, hey buddy, I don't feel good, stay out of my space. And so I want to convince him that it's okay, bud, I got you, you're gonna be fine. I'm gonna have him come forward into my hand, good. I lower my hand when he comes into it, good, there you go, good. There you go, what a gentleman, there, good. Good boy, yes sir. Good, very good. And if you haven't been following Slate's progress, where I have him here is behind a half wall. When we first started working, he'd paw, he'd strike out, he'd lunge at you. And so I've done a lot of work behind this half wall with him in order to get him more relaxed and connected, but me being able to do it in a safe place, right? Where I'm not going to compromise my safety. Really important when we're working with them to make sure that we help stay safe so that we don't end up getting hurt. Good. So I'm just going to kind of soften him a little bit. You can see that cut there when he turns this direction. Pretty gnarly. But man, they play so rough. If you've never seen horses rough play before, it's a sight to watch. I mean, these geldings, he's a stallion, but he's got two geldings by him, and the boys just play really rough. I mean, that's the term horseplay, right? Is they just play, they look like they're fighting. If you don't know horses, people will see them say, oh my goodness, they're fighting. It's like, no, they're really just playing, and they play pretty rough here. So again, before I even start to work on that, I just want to make sure he's okay with me rubbing him and approaching him. And again, if you haven't been following him, when he first started, like, when I tried to do stuff like this, he'd try to bite my hand off, he'd come at me, but he's doing so much better. There, good. Waiting for him to kind of soften and relax here. You know, horses, they don't really like, especially a wild or an unhandled horse, they don't like you touching their face, just like you wouldn't want someone going up and touching your face unless it's somebody that you trust, somebody that you love. Same thing with these horses, right? You know, so to be able to go up and just touch them on their face like that is a big deal, especially for a wild horse. They're gonna wanna preserve that. Like, hey, what are you doing touching my face? But he's doing really well there. And I'm just gonna look for him to just soften and relax a little bit here. Good boy. I like him opening up that spot for me because we're gonna have to work on that in a little bit. So I'm gonna see if I can get him to where I come on this side and get him to open up a little bit without retreating. Good boy. See him wanting to retreat a little bit there? I'm gonna keep my hand in place here. I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna rub him. And I just wanna set this up so we have a good experience here, okay? And so what that means is that even if it takes a little bit longer, you know, even though like, you know, when I saw that cut this morning, I'm like, oh no, he's got a bite on his face and I gotta get this cleaned up. You know, I'm really just gonna take my time. It's not that bad, but we don't want it to get infected and we want it to heal up really nicely. And I've got some pretty cool ointment that I use. I use this for all of my horses when they have scrapes and bumps, bruises, things like that. And it's amazing stuff. It's all natural. Stick around to the end because when we get to that point, I'll show you what we use. And I've been using it for years now and I recommend it. It's awesome stuff. You come back in here and give him a rub. Good. Good boy. And again, we've been haltering him, okay? So in theory, I could put the halter on him and handle him to do this, but I'm really just kind of doing this as a practice to see if he'll let me kind of handle his face and doctor him without being haltered up, because it's going to be a huge step for him if he lets me do this. So I'm just taking a nice big deep breath here. Good boy. Want him to just get comfortable with me on this side. Awesome, good. And I'm gonna come back around to this side and I'm gonna get him to step right back up. So I'm gonna pick my hand up like I've been doing. Good boy. I'm gonna go right in there and rub. You know, a lot of times when people are working with horses, they kind of tiptoe around them. You could tell like the first few times that I kind of went up to rub him, yeah, I was kind of soft and relaxed, there we go. But then now it's like I'm coming in there, I'm rubbing him. When he reacts, I'm not reacting, I'm still talking with my hands. All of that helps him there to become quieter and to become more likely to fall into my hands. So now I'm gonna reach around to this other side and I'm gonna rub on him. Eventually we're gonna groom him all out. We're gonna do a whole video just on that, get some of those locks out of his hair. That'll be a lot of fun. Good. Now I'm gonna come over to this side. Good. And I'm gonna rub on this side. Good boy. Good. So the ointment that I use, it's in a spray bottle, okay? And I'm actually not gonna spray him there because he's more than likely gonna react to that. So what I'm gonna do is instead of just spraying right there where the ouchie is, I wanna make sure he'll let me touch around it here. Very sore and tender around there. What a gentleman, yeah. So instead of just spraying that, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab, I've got a little bandana here, and I'm gonna make sure though that he's comfortable with me rubbing with him on the bandana. So he's a little bit more relaxed on his left side for me. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna introduce it on the left side. And so I'm gonna put the bandana up here. Now I use a stick, am I clucking and kissing to drive him forward? And you can see just how sensitive he can be with just adding that bandana to my hand. He's like, whoa, I'm not sure about that, right? But I'm gonna be pretty relaxed in the way that I introduce it. I'll bring it right up there. Good boy. Good boy. The second step is to make sure he's comfortable with my bandana, right? So even now, like intentionally, I'm just kind of talking with it here, getting him relaxed, not worried about it. But see, you see the difference though with the way that I'm just kind of getting him comfortable and he's relaxed. It's not a big deal to me, so it's not a big deal to him. But if I was like, easy boy, he'd be like, what is there to be worried about? And a lot of people will handle green wild horses like they're easy. And we see it on the westerns and on television and stuff, but it really doesn't help. It's really better to just kind of show it to them. Good boy. I'm gonna see if I can get him to step forward into it. So the way I'm gonna do that is I'll kiss, add pressure, and then I'll take it away when he steps forward to let him know, yeah, you made a good decision by going into that. And I'll pick it up again. Oh, I like that. You see how he lowered into it? That was awesome. I'll pick it up again. I'm gonna hold it there, even though he tossed his head up. Notice I didn't immediately recoil. And that's just from practice, but a lot of times our instinct is if they recoil, we recoil, and we really want to stay there until they soften, right? So I'm gonna see if I can get him to soften into this some. Oh, I like that. He's very slowly starting to lower. Yeah, lower his head. I like that. He kind of leaned in this direction. Now come back up. because ultimately I need to be able to touch him with it, right? And even though he's worried about it, I'm gonna make sure that I stay with him. He even almost tried to bite me and nip at it, right? When I put it up there, so I'm gonna drive him into it. Oh, he says, I'm not sure about this. I was okay with you holding it there, but I don't know about you letting me touch, touching my face with it. And that's understandable. Nice big deep breath. I'm gonna come right in here and I'm gonna give him a rub and I'm gonna hold it on there and I'm gonna rub over his neck here. Check out what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna come right over his eye where he can see it. There, good. Because we're gonna be able to clean out that cut, buddy. Make sure it doesn't get infected. Yeah. Oh, yeah. What? Oh my goodness, what a gentleman. Yeah. What a pony. Yes, sir. So I love, I like that. Huge difference, right? From him wanting to just immediately recoil and completely avoid it to really standing there and accepting it. Yes, oh, it's okay. It's all right, but I like that he didn't take off. He really could have. You know, he kind of scared himself there. And again, key is my composure too. Like I can't be jumpy and reactive just because he is. I've got to stay super chill and grounded for him. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick this back up and we're gonna go right back to it like nothing ever happened. So I'm gonna push him forward into it. Good. I'm gonna pick right up, because there is nothing to be worried about here. Good. All right, so now we're gonna come over to this side. Good boy. And I wanna see if he'll let me approach over here on this side. And he's wanting to move, that's okay. I'm gonna push him back into the pressure. See him getting cranky here again, like he wants to charge at me. And even though he's getting cranky and he's right here and he could, he could come after me, I still gotta stay pretty chill, composed. Good boy. And I got to be able to call his bluff here. We've been working together now several sessions that there is an understanding between us. Session one, I would not have stood that close to him with him pinning his ears because he actually did come after me a couple times. But now that we have a good understanding, I've got a pretty good read on whether he really means it or whether he's just kind of bluffing, firing some warning shots there. And I want him to be able to express himself, right? Like, this is a safe place. If he's telling me he's uncomfortable, it's okay. I'm not gonna get upset with him for showing me what he's feeling. I wanna hear that and listen to that. Okay, so again, I'm still just working on introducing this, and while he's doing better on this side, I'm working on getting over to this other side. So I'm gonna try to come over the eye here. Oh, good boy. There we go. I'm gonna ask him to push into it. Good, right to rubbing. This has gotta feel really good, especially on the corner of his eyes, this soft cloth, rubbing those areas where a lot of times the flies will get their eye sore. So very good, good job, bud. Now I'm gonna open up on this side, see if I can get him to open up for me so I can work. There we go, good. Oh, I like that. I like that. He could have just pulled away and he didn't. I'm gonna pick up again, give him a rub, come over the cut gently. I know that's owie for him, but that's gonna be where, once I do put my ointment on, I wanna be able to get in here and start to dab it in those spots. Yeah, it's tender. He's really avoiding it. Poor guy. And a horse like this, he's unhandled. It's hard to tell because he's kind of got this dappling, and so you can't really see how many scars he has on him, but all over his face, you can see these dark lines and spots and stuff, and all of those are scars, whether it come from another horse or maybe he ran into something. Every time it just leaves a little kind of dark scar there. So he's gonna have a handsome little scar there on the face there, which shouldn't be too bad. I'm gonna come right back up here. Good boy, there, good boy, awesome. Yeah, I'm feeling better about that now. I'm gonna have him walk right back into it. Good boy, right back to this side. Because again, when I'm ready to doctor it, I need to be able to be here for a little bit and him not avoid it. Can I give you a rub over your eye? I'm gonna push him forward into it again. Good boy. So he's doing really well here. And so I feel like I'm getting to there. Good. Yeah, there we go. I feel like I'm getting to a place where I really can. So I told you guys that I was going to show you the stuff that I use. I love this stuff. It is so cool. It's called Silver Honey. It's made by Absorbing, and it says Rapid Rune Repair, but it's made of natural Manuka honey and microsilver. No idea what microsilver is, but this stuff works. It's incredible. Anytime my horses have a scratch or a boo-boo or whatever, I just spray a little bit of this stuff. Hey, and they don't, I'm not sponsored by these guys. They don't pay me to say this stuff. Like, I'm telling you this from my experience. Really incredible stuff, and does great work. So I love this stuff. Like I said, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna spray some of this onto my bandana here. You know, I'm not a veterinarian, not telling you what to do with your horse. I'm just showing you what I do with mine. If I were a vet, is probably be like sterilized gauze. Spray some of this in here. I'm gonna really put a bunch in there, and we'll see how he does. You know, it might feel a little weird for him too, just with that liquid. Well, I'll get him to be nice and relax and settle here. Good. And I'm not gonna like trick him to let me put it on there, right? You know, I'm not gonna try to like get my moment and shoot my shot and get it all out. No. What I really want to do, give him a opportunity to trust that everything's going to be okay. There's nothing to worry about. Might have to rub some of this honey on the other side too, just to get him used to it. We'll see here. He can smell it too. I'm gonna come back on this side, and I will. I'll just start on this side. Yeah, I don't know if you can see under this eye, you can see some teeth marks from those other ponies chewing on him. You having a rough time playing so rough with your buddies, huh? There we go, good. And my goal is just to keep rubbing it on there, and that rubbing action he should like, because then once he learns that I'm just rubbing him, not a big deal, there, he should relax into that. Good. And let me come over to this other side. There, good boy. I'm gonna put a little bit more on there. And I'm really just gonna apply a little bit at a time. He's really stretching. It's like, oh, he thinks it's gonna sting or something. It's like doctoring a little kid. No, it's gonna hurt. It's not that bad, bud. And I don't think this stuff actually stings at all, to be honest with you. I've never seen a horse like where you apply it and they're reactive. Hold there. Good boy, very good. I'm gonna come back up on there. Good boy. Yeah, this is gonna feel really good, buddy. Yeah. I'm gonna push him back through. He's really avoiding it. Like everything he can do. That's all right. So just like we did on the other side, I'll just start to rub kinda, and then I'll just kinda see if I can work my way closer to it. Push one more time. I really wanna get in there one more time with this stuff, but that time we got a good bit on there. Good boy. I know, it's a lot. Let's come back up over here. Work my way slowly this way. Good, good. And I know I said just one more time, but I want to get a little bit more spray on there. But that was really good. So the cool stuff about this is it will actually work through that scab and it softens it up. And then you just start to see it turn back into his skin color and it closes up, and this stuff does really cool stuff. Really cool stuff. So I'm gonna rub up here, work my way down. Good, I'm gonna step him up a little bit here. Can you step over for me, bud? Thank you, what a gentleman. Oh, stepping over too much. There we go. Up. Good boy, and we're almost done. Almost done, Mr. Slate. Good. You're doing so good, buddy. Good, and I'm gonna flip over. There we go. Good. Oh my goodness, good. Got a lot on there. You know, just like everything we do with these horses, we break it down into steps to give them a lot of clarity. Step one is I wanted to make sure he was okay with me just going in and handling his face like we normally do when we're haltering a horse. With him, every session I do this just because of his background. Again, if you've been following him, you know he was neglected, 10-year-old stallion, hadn't been handled. So everything's new to him, right? So that was the first step, is just handling his face. Step two, introducing the bandana to him. Step three, introducing the bandana with the spray on it. And you could see how much differently he acted once the spray was on there. And then the final step was to actually apply the medicine to the wound and get him to accept that. And so I'm glad we were able to get that done and get that on him. But I'm also glad that you guys have gotten a chance to see how much he has progressed, because when he first came here, there was no way I'd be able to do that without getting my head bit off or kicked off by him. So he's come a very, very long way.